Hey everybody, Rev here. I am joined today on this atypical feed drop by a very special guest. I have Kate here from Of Mice and Men and Monsters.
That's us.
Kate, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Right? Who is this weird voice coming onto your feed? So yes, as Rev mentioned, I am Kate, and I am the Dungeon Master, or on our show, Master Teacher, for a podcast that mixes a little bit of homebrew, a little bit of 5th edition with some classic literature, and we call ourselves Of Mice and Men and Monsters. So yeah, it just kind of came during maternity leave, and we're like, let's do something together. And so my husband and I created the show, pulled in 2 of our buddies, and we pull from stories that are in public domain, so they're old enough, you can do what you want, you can get weird with it, and we use Dungeons and Dragons to create fan fiction of some old favorites that perhaps people have read in high school, or for most people, they said they read it, but they really just went online, looked up the basic plot points, and then moved on. So yeah.
So let me ask you a question. It's gonna sound hostile. It's not. Who are you? Why are you qualified to take these classic works and put a fantasy twist on them?
I understand. Yeah, I know. The imposter syndrome just drenches. So by day, the majority of my time, I am a high school teacher and holding masters in education and literature, a super nerdy love for works that are long gone and not really often loved by the general public came into play with that.
Yeah.
Also playing Dungeons and Dragons for some years, wanting to combine 2 of my loves, and that's where this came from. So yes, I get to reread some books, create some scenarios that my players can jump into, and hopefully get other people wanting to read these stories. And every time somebody reaches out to us saying, hey, we were listening to your Count of Monte Cristo arc, and we decided to read it on our own, I get tingles.
Yeah, when your husband first reached out to me about getting us in contact, I was like, I love the idea of this show, because I was not a big reader in high school, but I am now. But I feel like if I had encountered something like this when I was younger, it would have tripped that desire to like, okay, well, now I want to read this to see what the actual story is, or what parts did they pull. And kind of in correlation with that, can you talk to us a little bit about what it is you do between story arcs?
Yes. So in between a story arc, we have a special bonus episode called The Book Report. And that's where we sit down. It's always going to be me and Adam, who is one of the players and also producer, editor on the podcast. But we'll often have other cast members join us. And we sit down and I basically have class. I talk about the actual work that we based the adventure arc on, and give some cool tidbits and details, and give hints to where I've dropped Easter eggs from the original work into the adventure that they played through. And we're pretty honest. There's a couple times, for example, Moby Dick, where we make it clear, like, yeah, this isn't for everyone if you want to read the actual source material. But if you are into this, or if you're curious about this, maybe you should give it a try. So it's fun to piece it apart and give a bit of a historical and literary background to what we're working on.
So at this point, how many tales have you adapted?
We are currently on our 8th one, starting from Frankenstein all the way to right now, we're in the middle of Macbeth.
Okay. And is this something that a listener should listen to them chronologically, or can they jump around to the stories that interest them?
It is one long, like, overarching story that the same characters are following through. So
Yeah.
I would highly recommend starting with Frankenstein and working your way through there. It's easily digestible. But if you're curious, or you have like a favorite novel that we somehow feature, or you're really into Gothic stories, then you can just jump around. But there is an overarching story that we're working through that's a long form. So it's kind of that nice mix, right? You have each book is its own adventure that has a beginning and a clear ending. But if you want to carry on and follow our three characters, Awen, Penny, and Bertram, then I highly recommend start at Frankenstein and work your way through.
And I won't tell the other books, but which one of the adaptations do you think has been your favorite so far? Or if that's too difficult, which one do you think is the closest to the source material?
Yes, that's a good question. That's a twofold answer. I'll answer like the one that was like the closest to the source material would have been Oliver Twist. The twist we put on it was that it was a kind of a heist genre. We were focusing on stealing from Fagin. And so I just brought in a lot of tropes that you get from a lot of this group gets together and they plan the heist and they get in and everybody has their own role. So that was fun to play, but we pulled a lot of direct quotes from the source material. We had it aligned with one of our characters, Penny, and her character arc. So there was a lot more digging into the source material and interacting with the characters this time around, which made it one of our longer arcs overall. So I would say that is very close to the source material if you're into that. Now, the funnest was Count of Monte Cristo, which in essence, we made a prison break. So that is only like if you're having like a 1-to-1 ratio on it, it's really just like the beginning of Count of Monte Cristo, like the first third of it that is staying true to the story. And then I tried to pull in elements from later on because it's a meaty work. That is a big boy.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And we had some cool traps and just the prospect for the first time for all of them where they were not allowed to use magic. We had an anti-magic field around this prison island, and it was fun to see them work together and figure out, hey, we're really used to playing one way. Now we have to change the rules for ourselves. So that was very fun to be a DM for.
Well, coming up, listeners, you will hear the very first episode, which is part 1 of their Frankenstein story arc. Once our listeners have had the opportunity to listen to this, where can they find the rest of your show?
Of course, you can find our show wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you want to go Spotify, if you want to go Apple, if you want to find something else, we're everywhere, baby. But you can also come and interact with us. We are on Twitter. Our handle is @OhMamMamShow. That's, shortening it down because of Mice and Men and Monsters is heck long. So, Oh Man Ma'am Show. And we love interacting with people who listen. People have suggestions of future stories, or even since we do a lot of homebrew, one of our favorite things is when listeners send in suggestions for magic items or for traps or for riddles. And then it's fun to weave that in. Yeah, that's where you can find us.
All right. Well, thank you, Kate, for joining me. And listeners, enjoyed the first episode of Mice and Men and Monsters.
Aaron, you are already far north of your forest home, and as you walk in the streets of Geneva, you feel a cold northern breeze play upon your cheeks, which braces your nerves and fills you with delight. As you approach Dear Sister Margaret, the only tavern in this town, you glance down at the invitational flyer that brought you here. Genius artificer Dr. Frankenstein is looking for volunteers to serve as test subjects in his latest experiments. Do you have strength of mind, body, and spirit? You could earn 50 gold just for participating, and even grander prizes for completing the experiments. Come to the town of Geneva on Friday to participate. As your eyes finish scanning the flyer, you open the door to Dear Sister Margaret. What would the patrons in the tavern see as you cross the threshold?
I look probably a little weathered from walking through the forest, although that is my kind of natural habitat. I think they see someone whose face is a little bit downtrodden, unsure, and also maybe a little bit of grit. I'm wearing a dark green robe. Looks a little bit like a jumper, maybe. We're not too sure. And I have white hair and pointy ears because I am an elf. I have blue eyes and I have sharp features.
All right.
Yeah, I guess would they be used to seeing elves in this tavern?
Yes.
Dear Sister Margaret.
The Dear Sister Margaret, as you see, is filled with people of all races, kinds, shapes, sizes. And so seeing an elf cross the threshold, even an elf that is maybe covered in grime or has some leaves in his white hair, wouldn't even bat an eye at that. In fact, the tavern is alight with commotion and activity. At the tables, there's all sorts of gambling going on, and in the far corner, there is a group of 3 Aarakocras who are playing darts. At the far end of the bar is seated 3 people in dark cloaks, and everyone is giving them a wide berth. The room is abuzz with excitement, and you overhear someone mention an oncoming performance on the tavern stage. Where do you go first?
I head straight over to the bar. I am going to speak to the keep or the bar person, the bar maid or matron, talk about maybe what kind of beverages they have.
Okay. So you come up to the bar, and up there is a burly man, looks a little bit past his prime, just this grizzled human, but turns to you with a very wide smile on his face. And he says, "Ah, welcome. You must be here because of the flyer going around."
Well, hey, mister. Yeah, you could say that I saw that flyer and stepped into this here establishment, but, well, what I could really use is a drink. What do you have on tap?
What do I have on tap? A young, old, something? I don't know. Master Alpha. We have hard spirits. We have lindenberry water. We have teas. We have coffees. We even, I don't know. I've gotten a little bored in my old age, so I've even tried my hand at a bit of mixology. Alchemy among the spirits, as you might say. So, surprise me. I'll try something.
I'll take whatever wine I can get for this. And he slides over just like 2 silver across the. I have no idea if that's enough money or not, but I think he just says, "Well, hey, whatever wine you can give me for this, I'll take that."
He puts his hand over it, slides it to him, looks at it, smiles widely. He's like, "You betcha." And he hands you a glass of this gleaming red mulled wine, which is perfect for the bracing cold that is now starting to develop outdoors.
Awen takes a big drink of this mulled wine, kind of inhales. "Well, what did you say your name was again?"
I didn't say my name. My name's Walton. Formerly Captain Walton, because, I lived my life on the sea, but that's another lifetime ago. So now I'm here and own this here tavern, Dear Sister Margaret. So will you be staying the night?
Well, Cap, I'm not too sure if I'm staying the night or not. You tell me, what's the deal here with this flyer? You know who this is?
Dr. Frankenstein? I mean, we all know of him. Barely any of us know him, but he lives in that castle up yonder, just beyond the hill. Kind of looming over this whole, I don't know, city? Town? Depends on where you've been. Some people call it a city because it's kind of medium-sized. Others call it a town or a village because, they feel like they're a little bit big in the britches. I think it's pretty nice here.
It looks like an establishment to me. He come from good stock? You trust him?
I mean, he brings me good money by bringing people into the town for this experiment, so yeah, I trust the money he brings in. But like I said, I never met the fella.
All right. Fair enough. And I walk away.
Okay. As you
I go
walk
and sit in the back corner.
in the back corner. Ooh, always a good idea to sit in the back corner.
Quick question. So like when he was talking, I'll go talk to the bar matron or maid, and then you came in as the grizzly guy. Would that have been an opportunity for me to step in and tease him for assuming it was going to be a woman? Or are we being serious at this point and I shouldn't improvise
Oh, yeah.
joke?
No, you should totally-
I shouldn't break the fourth wall. Okay.
You can
I wanted
break
to
the
make
fourth
sure
wall.
I took.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Then I retroactively tease Aaron for assuming it was going to be a bar matron.
No, I didn't want to assume. I didn't know what's the guy's version of a barmaid. I thought it was matron, but apparently it's both.
No,
female,
you did it right. It was just so funny. Like, it's a maid or a matron. She was like, a grizzly man pops from behind.
I was like, oh god.
So as you step away from the bar to find a cozy backspace, we go back outside with our camera and we see that Adam, you are making your way into Geneva, and now the sun is still visible, its broad disk just skirting the horizon and diffusing a perpetual splendor. As you enter the tavern, even though I mentioned earlier that this is filled with all sorts of people, well, at the sight of you draw quite a few curious stares, including that of Awen. Why would they take notice of you?
Probably because I'm a 7-foot robot, so that's probably number one. So I bet he would be. I'm assuming the doorway probably isn't 7 feet tall. So my character, this pretty much like black steel, very long gangly robot with a large collar behind his head that's adorned with a bunch of flowers and herbs, a bunch of colors kind of smattering behind his head, like almost like a halo, growing out of his own machinery, kind of built into his body. So yeah, he's probably lurching in under the doorway and standing up. And as soon as he looks up, I'm sure he would notice everyone's eyes looking at him and would feel a little embarrassed.
In fact, it kind of like dies down for a few seconds, and Walton, who is doing the usual barkeep thing of dusting out a glass for the next 5 minutes with nothing else to do, kind of stops. He's like, well, aren't you a sight over there? Welcome. Seen it all today. I've seen it all today. And he just like starts to turn away and he's like, I'm over it already. But you, and your character's name is?
Bertram.
Okay. So you, Bertram, where do you decide to perch up? Now that some of them are still staring, others though are pretending not to stare, but really looking out of the corner of their eye, and still others are too interested in their gambling or their drinking to really care too much.
Yeah, I think since someone's already addressed him, and it looks like someone with some authority in this place, I think I would make my way over to the bar as well, probably knocking into people as I go, maybe like nudging them with like a knee to the back of the head or something like that, until I get up to the bar. And I think if I looked at the stool and seeing how like dirty and kind of dusty it is, I think I would pull out a little handkerchief from my breast pocket and would give it a little bit of dusting and put it back in my pocket before I sit down. Excuse me, my good sir. Might I trouble you for a tall glass of your finest water, please, and thank you.
Wow, aren't you just the gent with all the manners? You just want you drink water? You don't like have oil or I don't know.
Oh yes,
exhaust or water is
yes.
good for you.
There's oil amongst other things inside me, but the water isn't. No, it's not. It's not for me. I don't take the nourishment myself. It doesn't sustain me. It's for my flowers and herbs behind my head. I'm sure you've noticed them.
So how? I mean, sure. And he's in the midst of this just taking the glass, and there's just a spigot to the side, and you can see like it's not distilled, it's nothing special. He just is basically putting tap water in there, and as he's filling it with tap water, he's like, so what do? You just toss it over your shoulder at the fellas growing around you, or How do you water that? Oh, hang on. Sorry, it got a little bit there. Here you go. And he hands it across to you after kind of tipping the overflow onto the side of the bar, where he will then later mop it up and use it to clean that area of the bar.
Oh, my simple fellow. No. I still drink it. It still goes down. I think it would look a little bit odd if I just threw it over my shoulder. But no, I drink it, and it goes into my machinery and swirls around and ends up back up by my plants. I don't know quite the intricacies of how I was constructed, per se, but it seems to work all the same. So, is this tap water? Is this free?
Yeah. This is free. You're able to have this tap water at no cost, just for you, buddy. It's a secret between you and me. And he gives you a big old wink.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's so improper to ask about money and things of that sort, but I'm just not living the same lifestyle I used to live, I guess you might say. But thank you, dear sir, thank you. And I would take that water, and as I'm walking, I guess I'm looking for where I would go sit or stand. And as I'm doing that, I pull out from my bag, my satchel, I pull out this little, what looks like a normal silver spoon, and I twirl it around. It's like a teaspoon, and I would twirl it around in my glass for a second and pocket it before drinking the water. And I guess I would survey the room again. Can you explain what was in the room? You mentioned people playing poker. Some
sure, yeah. There's some gambling tables to the side, closer to the entrance. Along the back where Awen headed, there are some booths there near a stage where people can go up and perform at any time. There are people who are talking about an upcoming performance from some visiting sailors. And you see the bar continue to stretch around the corner, and then it disappears into the back. There are stairs to the side, which would possibly lead upstairs to rooms if you decide to rent one for the night. And of course, yes, there's a back area with more games. And I did mention there are 3 Aarakocras playing darts there.
Oh, they're playing darts. Okay. I guess I'll stop there for now. I'll go stand over by the Aarakocra, and I'll just kind of observe quietly off to the side, observing their game as they're playing darts.
Okay. So, Kimmie, all this time, you have remained in the recess of a corner booth, squeezed between the stage and the side door leading to the upstairs rooms. You have been gazing at this wonderful and stupendous scene of people of many different races talking excitedly about tomorrow's experiments and the rumored grand prize of a personalized creation of your choice made by Dr. Frankenstein. With your trained eyes of a thief, you see nobody stealing, nobody threatening, just pure curiosity and well-being, which is something so foreign to you this past year. Although nobody seems to have taken notice of you. Indeed, the very booth that Awen chose to come and slink back to is the very booth that you're sitting in the back of. He still hasn't noticed you in the shadows. But if he were to look your way, or anybody else, what would they actually see?
He would see someone who is not comfortable in their own skin. Someone kind of slight, short, blonde hair that was definitely cut. It's short and cut well, but I clearly don't know how to style it, so it's just messy. I'm in traveling garb with light armor, and I'm just watching.
Just watching, okay.
Just watching.
Well, howdy, friend. What you doing back there in the dark?
Watching.
It's a good group to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You see anything good so far?
No, I was mainly just waiting for you to take another drink so I could try to scare you.
Were you just going to jump out and say booga, booga, booga?
Something of the sort.
Well, all right. What about
I'd rather
them?
watch.
You saw them Aarakocra over there? What do you think of them?
This is where Kimmie asks, "What are those?"
Oh, yeah. They're like bird people. Did you watch Rick and Morty? It's like Bird Person from Rick and Morty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
What a hard end. Okay, cool. I've seen their kind in passing. Never seen this many in one place, though.
Yeah, they're pretty good at those darts. Gotta give it to them. Pretty good. Now, ma'am, you tell me, what do you think of that big old robot that just came in there? It seems kind of out of place, don't you think?
That is the most interesting thing I have ever seen. What do you think happens when you just pick those flowers? Do you think you'd notice?
I'm not too sure, but I guess we could find out.
I was gonna say, how much money are you willing to put on it?
Oh, make it interesting, huh? Well, I think I have no idea how much gold I have. I think I have what was a starting amount, like 50 gold or something like that?
I have some amount of gold.
I have at least some gold because I bought this wine.
I'd be willing to settle for a drink.
All right. One drink. You're on.
Drink?
Now,
all
wait.
right.
What's the wager here? Are we just going to sneak over and see which one of us can get it? Are we going to tally up how many of the herbs we can pick?
Looking at you, I think you're pretty big. I feel like in this small and tight pub, if we both sneak over, it will be much less successful. Maybe I'll just sneak over, and if I'm able to pick some flowers without him noticing, I get a drink.
All right then, ma'am. You're on.
All right, Kate, now how do I do this?
So in Dungeons and Dragons, we tend to tell the DM what we want to do, describe how that would go down, and then I would tell you what you need to roll based on how you describe it. So tell me, how would you try to get to the collar of this 7-foot robot?
So,
Yeah, how tall are you?
I'm like 5'4". So I'm
basically
like mid-sized to smaller.
Yeah.
How
Better
are
have some
you going to
jumps.
climb that tree? Tell me.
Do you need a booster seat when you're in a carriage?
It's a rude question to ask a lady. So here's what I do. I slowly sneak over. He's on the opposite side. So I dart in between people. I kind of pull up and I sneak around the fireplace. I get up right behind him. And I say, "Excuse me, mister."
Oh. Good Lord, girl. Made me quite a startle there. What was that? Come again?
I said, "Excuse me, mister. What brings such a tall robot like you to a strange place like this?"
Oh, well, that's... I guess I do look out of sorts here, don't I? Well spotted. I'm here to see some kind of... I came across this flyer. I saw that there was some kind of test of skills for adventurers from some Dr. Frankenstein, I believe it is. So I'm here to see what comes of that, I guess. I don't really have any other place to be if I'm being painfully honest.
Fascinating. I, too, have this flyer. Interesting.
Wait,
Did you
show me your flyer. I
Did
pull
you
mine out
notice-
and I hold it.
I pull mine
The
out
same
as well.
flyer?
I pull mine out as well, and I say, "But did you notice the secret symbols on the corner of this flyer? They're very slight, but did you notice the secret symbols on this?" And then I pull it over, and I hold it between us so we both are kind of faced and looking. And then I
Come here,
use
show me.
sleight of
Wait,
hand.
It's so good.
I use sleight of hand to pull around. I'm short,
Oh,
but he's bending down to look at it, and I use sleight of hand
All
to
right.
pick a flower.
The swoop de
Does it
whoop.
work? What do I do?
All right, Kimmie, you're going to do 2 rolls for me. First, you're going to roll deception to see if that even works to get him to bend down. And
All right,
then
that's
you're going to
fair.
roll sleight of hand if that does succeed.
Okay, so I use the 20-side die, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
for your deception is a +5.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I
Shady.
definitely looked at what my higher numbers were. Okay, hold on.
Smart.
I got a 7.
So 12? Or was
Or
it a
did
2
you roll a
plus
2
5?
you
plus 5?
Plus
I rolled a 7.
Okay, so
7. Okay,
plus
so then you
5.
add your modifier.
So you rolled a 12.
7.
No,
Okay,
that-
perfect.
For in this case, that was enough. He's still not completely believing you, but I would say that this is enough to get Bertram to start to bend down to look at exactly what you're trying to show him. So now you're going to roll sleight of hand, which is a good bonus.
Perfect. And then I'm going to, while I'm doing all this, I'm talking about my experience with secret symbols and that they were really small, but blah, blah, blah. And then I roll and I get a 5 plus 8. So that's 13. That was embarrassing how long it took me to do that math, but I rolled 13.
Welcome to the mental math institution of being bad at it.
I'm going to get so much better playing this.
You successfully pick a flower from his collar.
Ooh.
Now, as soon as you get that flower and he hasn't noticed, what will you do?
So I take the flower, I immediately slip it behind my ear, push my hair in front of it, and then I can count on my little mouse Pip to crawl up and grab it, because we've done this before.
Whoa, Pip.
Pip is my mouse.
P.S. There's a mouse. There's a mouse. P.S.
Should I?
Wait, this is just like little mouse homie just hanging with you?
Can
I
I
have a
roll?
mouse.
Can I roll to see if I notice the mouse?
Yeah.
Oh
that
no,
would
I
be
didn't
your-
mean I brought another element. I didn't think about
That's
this.
so good.
Is that
Roll
But he's
perception.
like crawling
Yeah.
up behind my neck. Like Pip crawls up behind my neck and grabs the flower. Why would you notice that?
Don't worry, it's only a 10.
Right.
No, that would.
My rolls
I
are
would-
terrible, by the way. So do whatever you want.
I would say just as Pip the mouse is nestling back, grabbing the flower and going back to his little hiding place, you see. Yes, in your satchel. Is it crossbody? Very practical.
Oh no, we're talking fanny pack.
Oh,
I'm a child of the 80s, the 1780s. That was a bad joke.
Keep it in. Keep it in.
No, love it.
So just as Pip is sliding into that little hip pocket of your fanny pack, as it were, a feathered hand comes into view, and it just slides in and pricks one of the flowers off of Bertram's collar. And it's like, are we doing this now? I got bored with the darts, but are you just handing out flowers for everybody, big man? And
What are you
see one of the
doing, Birdman? Oh, unhand me.
I immediately
Man.
get up in arms. Oh wait, tell me if it's the wrong move. I immediately get up in arms and said, "That is a terribly rude thing to do. How dare you? Don't you understand etiquette?"
So good.
Thank you, someone with a little dignity and manners.
Oh, you said I have bad manners. I mean, I was just over here playing darts, and then I look over and I see a mouse. I'm sorry, you called me Birdman or a Birdfolk or whatever. I'm called all the things nowadays, but I can't help but notice a mouse when there is one, even as well hidden as yours is. I'm not the
No.
first one to pluck your flower, as it were, Sir Robot.
Who else has plucked a flower from me this evening?
You mean you don't know? You were just bending down and she plucked it. We all saw it, right, guys? And the other two Aarakocras that are with this one just kind of nod, like, yep, we saw it.
And I think it would dawn on Bertram finally, and all the commotion. And I think I would look down at, is it Penelope? You said?
Well, here's the thing. Before
Oh,
you
I'm
do,
sorry.
because you've been talking to them, right? It is Penelope, but you don't know that yet. Can I don't know how this works. Because he's talking at them, can I be slinking away? Or is that not allowed? Do I need to wait till my turn?
No, all this time you can be.
I mean, he's been talking with them for like 30 seconds. This is a small pub. I am back in that corner by the end of this. And he like turns and I'm gone like a sitcom.
Dude.
But isn't that like 5 feet away? Isn't that like 5 feet away?
Yeah, it's
He didn't
literally
even
like on
see
the
me
other
when
end of
I'm
the
in a-
room.
But he didn't even see me when I'm in the corner. I just really want this drink.
You thirsty? Are you thirsty? Is that what I'm hearing? All right.
Yes.
1700s.
1700s.
I'm gonna make you do another roll because this is your intro into D&D, Kimmie. I'm making you do all the
Great.
rolls tonight.
Good.
I want
Okay.
you to do a
Good.
stealth roll for me.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, why do I have a T for my stealth?
Yeah, I don't know why you put a T on your sheet.
Okay, that's not a thing.
Maybe it's either 5 or 6, right? The 5 and the 6 are right above the T.
Let's
assume.
hope.
So
I was like, oh,
you can
T
just
must
look at your
mean
dexterity.
something.
Your dex
I think
is
it's just your dex mod.
it's just your dex. Yeah, so just put
Okay,
a plus
I have
Are
a
you
4.
5.
proficient? Wait, are you
I have a
proficient
5.
in stealth?
It said T. I should be, right? Because I'm a
Yes.
rogue.
There should be like a little dot, yeah. So you
Yeah.
add your proficiency modifier.
Yes,
to
there's a
that.
dot. Great. So I'm going to say 5. That sounds right.
Actually,
You're right, plus 2 then,
it's
so 7.
it's actually your dex plus your proficiency. So here it would be a plus 6.
Plus 6. Okay.
5.
Thank
That's a
you.
lot.
Sorry about that. I guess that was great. I really thought T was something. Okay. I am rolling. That's how fresh I feel. I rolled a 12 plus 6, so it's 18.
Dang,
Oh
good
yeah,
rolls.
you were able to slink away in the midst of that, and so
stealthy.
by the time Bertram realizes he's been had and he turns to look down at to where you were, he sees nothing.
Foing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm at Awen, and I've immediately just dropped it right in front of him and snuck back to my corner. And he picks it up and looks. No, I can't tell you what you're doing. Never mind. So sorry. So I've dropped it right in front of you and snuck into my corner.
Well, sneaky little one, aren't you? Interesting. Well, what can I get you to drink, ma'am?
I would love the same thing you're having.
Bertram, you're there with 3 Aarakocras, all of whom seem to be very amused by your confusion. You all right there, buddy? You seem a bit lacking in the words department.
I suppose I just find myself out of sorts here. You think, oh, here's a small little innocent girl, and what she's just lying and stealing and cheating. I've never seen anything quite like it, I'm afraid. Do you mind if I appreciate you being honest at least with me. Do you mind if I just stand here with you fellow birds for a little bit?
Well, sure, but first things first. Stop calling me Birdman. My name is Felix. Nice to meet you. And he extends a paw, a hand, whatever you call an Aarakocra's digit.
And Bertram takes the hand and bends down and kisses the top of his hand, and kind of does a little bit of a kind of a curtsy, a little bit of a bow as he does it. Felix,
Okay.
it's a pleasure to meet you, Felix. I'm sorry I didn't know your name, Felix. And how about your friends here? What are their names?
One on the left, the tall, annoying one, that's Agatha. That's my sister.
Agatha.
And then,
I kiss that hand.
Thank you.
I kissed that hand.
And this one here, this bodacious babe, this is Safie. She doesn't know yet, but one day she's gonna be my girlfriend. And she just rolls her eyes at him. You have no idea what you're talking about. But then she's like, but if you're at it, and she extends her hand to you.
And of course I kiss it as well. Felix, Agatha, and Safie, a pleasure to meet all of you. Felix, here, if you already took one flower, but you missed this one. And I pluck another flower from behind me, and it's an even more beautiful, like, white rose, and I give it to him. A lot of ladies I've seen in my life seem to really like the white rose, so maybe you can try giving that to Safie, and who knows what might happen.
Ooh, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. So he takes it, and then he turns towards Safie. He's like, Safie, look what I got for you. And he holds it out to her, and she just rolls her eyes and leans down and eats it, and then walks away.
Hey, well, I'm sorry about that, Felix. Oh, well, I guess maybe the White Rose doesn't work for bird people, if you don't mind me saying. Do you live here in this town of Geneva?
Yeah, we've been living here for a bit. My sister, she owns the local smithy, and really, we it's kind of a pop-up shop, as it were. As soon as Dr. Frankenstein moved in, he put out kind of this hiring call for all types of artisans to work on his latest experiment, and so we're here. We've been here for the past couple of months, and doing stuff here and there, and we'll be here as long as we're needed and then move on as we do. I'm going to be joining the experiments tomorrow. I mean, I think I might have a leg up because I helped with like 3 of the rooms, but I'm sure there's a way that I won't even see those rooms. He's a wily one, but, might as well. I'm here.
Oh, so there are rooms and different rooms, you say? Oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Anything else you might you can share about this Frankenstein fellow, and maybe what we have in store for tomorrow?
How about let's make this interesting? You and I, let's play some darts. You best me in some darts. I buy you a drink or whatever the hell it is that you drink or imbibe, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I know.
Oh yes, but parlor games, as it were. I've played a little bit with my old lord. He loved this game very much, but I was never quite good at it. Sure.
That's good for me then. All right. So you guys are going to be playing some darts now. In fantasy darts with dice, we're going to just make it pretty simple. You're going to make a ranged attack roll, which will be your dex modifier or your dexterity modifier, 3 times. And whoever has the higher overall score, let's just say they won that round.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's 3 d20s?
Yeah, so you're going to roll 3d20 with your... And you're a +0 on ranged attack.
Yep, my rolls have not been good so far.
Okay.
You got this.
25 plus 14?
39.
39?
Okay.
Oh, damn. Plus what? Plus 14?
25 plus 14? Is that... Yes, 39, right?
Ooh, and he got a 36, so you won the first round. Let's make a few more rolls, see how this round goes.
Here you are, ma'am. Now, what did you say your name was again?
My full name is Penelope LaRoche Vanderhoot. Friends call me Penny, so you can call me Penelope, and if we become friends at the end of the night, we'll see where we stand.
All right.
The two of you, Awen and Penelope, as you're sitting there having your discussion and your mulled wine together, you notice that at the stage nearby, some people in really all I can describe as sailor garb come through, and they start to set up on the stage with varied musical instruments. There's like 5 of them setting up on stage, and one of them, a tiger-striped tabaxi, kind of stringing a harp to the side, is the closest one to you. And she sees like the flowers out of the corner of her eye, and she kind of looks over you. It's like, hey, you got a good seat. You here to watch the show?
And a tabaxi's like a cat person.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking to me?
She's talking to both of you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe.
No, I'm just here for the mulled wine, to be honest with you.
I'm here for the show. Huge fan. Been following your guys' career for a while, actually. Never met a sailor I didn't like, so I knew I had to be here tonight.
Really? Really? A sailor you didn't like? Name's Millie, by the way. Who are you guys?
Hi, Millie. Name's Penelope.
Hi,
my
Penelope.
name's Awen.
Hi, Awen. Well, yeah, me and my crew over here, we're just going to be playing some background music, because why the hell not? And hopefully you guys like it.
I think with that going on and seeing like the musicians come in too, I think I would kind of follow them as they kind of catch my attention. These sailors walking in, and I look over at them, and I think I would catch Millie or one of them talking to the girl who stole from me, and so I would say, "Oh, Felix, I'm sorry. 1 second. I'll be right back. I need to do something real quick."
Don't you run out on me.
And so I lumber over to the two ladies. Pardon me, Bard.
Hi, mister.
Whoa.
Nice to see you again.
I just think you should know the sort of person you're dealing with here. This person right here is a thief and a liar. They are just no good. I don't think you should be. You should watch your bags and your goods and your instrument whenever you're around this lot right here.
Oh, mister, what's making you say this? I had a lovely time chatting with you over there.
You may call me Mr. Bertram, young lady.
Sure thing, Mr. Bertram.
At this point, Bertram has just turned his face away from her and is blocking her out and is looking at the bard. Excuse me, again, just watch your things. This one over here cannot be trusted. And now you have been warned. She's going to go on about knowing all kinds of symbols and other kind of deceitful things. And when your back is turned, something bad will happen. I'm sure of it.
And Awen walks up next to Bertram. Well, I've never seen anything like you. You are magnificent. Has anyone ever told you that? Wonderful.
Why, yes, one person did at one point in my life. Thank you.
What did you say your name was again, Mr. Bot? Mr. Bot?
Mr. Bot. It's Mr. Bertram. Bertram. And your name is?
Mr. Bertram Bot. Well, my name is Awen. Very nice to meet you.
And you too, sir. You too. Miss Bard here. I look forward to your music, and I guess I'll be seeing you two tomorrow night. Or tomorrow morning,
Mr. Bertram, don't be frustrated with my nice friend Awen here, who is just trying to help me out. And then I kind of click, and then Pip comes out with the flower that you made everything else disappear.
Oh,
but
a rat!
The real flower, I imagine you wouldn't disappear.
I want to go and try and smash the rat because I think it's a pest.
Oh yeah, no, but I jumped back.
Ma'am, watch out! There's a rat here. And I try and slam my fist down the table.
I want you to make an attack roll, please.
Oh, damn. Already? Holy crap. Watch out, Rip Pip.
If Pip dies.
That was a mighty 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you definitely whiff on that one. Pip is quick enough to dart out of the way.
But I keep trying to smack it. I'm like, oh God, these pests are everywhere, I swear.
Mr. Bertram, please, that is not a pest. That is my friend. And if you hadn't immediately gone up in arms about him, you would have seen that he brought you something. And then Pip pops up again with the flower in his mouth.
You have friends with the rat?
It's not a rat, it's a mouse. For some reason, we like them more as a society. So I think you should open your heart to it.
All right, your pet mouse, I guess that because that makes it a whole lot better. Apparently, what is that in its little mouth? I guess
this is your flower, and I'm very sorry to have taken this from you. I do not have much money or opportunity, and so a bet was struck so I could get a drink. But Mr. Awen here has been nothing but trying to defend a new friend. Awen, you can call me Penny now. And I just think you shouldn't hold it against him for showing loyalty to someone. And I, in a measure of goodwill, want to return to you what is yours. And fun fact, he can make those come out of anywhere. So if you need more, he's the one to ask.
And I'm talking anywhere.
Well, Madam, giving me back a flower that you already stole, that's already withering in the mouth of a mouse, isn't as much. I might need a little bit more of a kind gesture. If your friend here, Awen, was it, sir?
Well, yep, that's my name.
My friend over there, Felix, if you could go over there to him, perhaps you could say that I sent you over there because you heard that he was courting some fine Aarakocra lady friend of his, and perhaps you could give him a whole bunch of flowers using your spell that you have. Maybe you can give him some flowers to give to her.
Will that make it right? If that makes it right, then I'll go over there right now.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
if
I
I may join your table then, because I do not know anybody here, like I said, it would be nice to chat with some people here.
Well, Mr. Bertram, you're in luck. I tend to think you're fascinating and would like to be your friend. So please make yourself at home.
When I pull up a chair.
All right, Awen, are you going to go over to Felix and create some flower magic?
Yep, I walk over and I offer him some. I offer him some flowers. I tell him I'm friends with good old Bertram, and I say this is for your lady friend Sophia. Safia?
Safie.
Safie. Oh, Safie.
Oh, well, thanks. Safie, I have more flowers. And so he just leaves you and with just this bunch of flowers in his hands.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want to head back to the group? Do you want to look around the room? What would you like to do right now, Awen?
Yeah, I'd love to I'd love to use detect magic to see if I detect anything magical in this room. See if there's anything going on.
You feel like a slight and with detect magic I have to tell you the type of magic, right?
Yeah, so like I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. If I sense magic in this way, I can use my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears the magic, and I learned the school of magic, if any.
Okay. You cast detect magic, and you notice you feel magic coming from your right side at the bar, closer to the end, like where you see the three hooded figures sitting.
Okay. Yeah, I slowly make my way over to where I feel this magic kind of emanating from. It's just an aura. I don't really feel like a school of magic, just like this sense of magic.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird tinted magic where it's like a hybrid. That's the best way you can think of it in your mind. You see, and you in your mind's eye, kind of an aura of necromancy and transmutation. But there's other signatures in there that you can't quite put your finger on. There's almost like a metallic taste to it, if you could put it that way.
Yeah, I think I walk past them and kind of circle back and go over to the table to Bertram and Penny.
Okay. At this time, Millie has left the table and she's with her peeps and they're playing instrumental music in the background, kind of a lot of sea shanty type music, and what we would see is like the equivalent of like a cover band, so cover songs of popular, I guess, tunes.
Come on, Eileen.
Yes, definitely.
Popular sea shanties.
Yeah. Everybody loves those.
I mean, I love a sea shanty. One of my favorite Fly the Conchords songs is sea shanty. Anyway, let's do this.
Like a dirge.
So as the cheerful music is picking up in the background and some people are starting to dance and sway in front of the platform that is being used as a stage right now, you come back with this kind of like uneasy feeling, Awen, to your two compatriots, two people that you know better than anybody else in this bar, which is not that well at all. But at least you're starting to create a home base.
Y'all see those hooded figures over there?
The three at the bar?
Bertram turns his whole 7-foot body and very apparently just turns like, who, those guys?
Yeah, something's not right with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just smell something in the air, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's dirty and muggy or something. I don't know what that smell is. It smells like moldy towels.
Oh, the worst smell. That's the
really
world's
is.
worst smell.
I only just got here. I don't know how long you two have been here. Penelope, have you been here for a while?
Been here for a few hours.
Have you noticed anything off about those people? Have they gotten up? Have they moved? Have they ordered a drink or talked to anybody else? Or they've just been sitting there?
Not once. Which Captain Walton, strangely, just cleaning the bar anyway. Just keeps wiping it. Just keeps wiping that glass. So that's been the most interesting part, honestly.
Maybe they're just lonely and they don't know anybody. Everyone gave me eyes when I walked in here. Perhaps they're just lonely and they don't know anybody. Should I invite
Mr.
them
Bertram.
over? Should I invite them over to sit with us? No.
No. You should not do that.
Mr.
That is
Bertram,
not
you
what
are the
should
most
do.
empathetic robot I have ever met. In my
Thank
experience.
you.
That was
Oh, thank you. That's very
also
kind of you. Thank you.
also a terrible idea. Horrible idea. We are not inviting the scary men to the table.
No.
Okay.
I think at this point I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm gonna go and talk to the captain about getting a room for the night.
Okay, so Awen and Bertram, you guys are going to be staying the night in that room.
Staring into each other's eyes all night.
That's right. Just staring the whole night.
So the two of you head on upstairs. Meanwhile, Penelope, where are you going to go to spend the night?
I'm outside already. I left 10 minutes ago. I saw them talking. That was a perfect moment. I like a good Irish goodbye. So
I was just gonna say it.
So as you head outside and you're looking for a place maybe up on the roof to stay the night and get all comfy cozy with Pip, as you survey like the top, a big old figure just like bumps into you, and you look up and you see this lizard folk, huge ass lizard basically. He's like, "Oh, excuse me. Have you seen my friend Gavin?"
Oh, the conspiracies are true? No, I have not met Gavin. Was just trying to find a place to rest, not thinking it's going to be this. What did you need Gavin for?
Gavin he's my friend. He's a funny fellow, and he talks kind of funny too, but I haven't seen him since yesterday, and really, we were gonna go in on this competition together, and I haven't seen him since last night, and I was just wandering around hoping to see him in the last place I saw him. I don't know, so let me know if you see another guy that looks like me. He gestures up and down at his lizard self.
Giant lizard, got it. Bumbling
Giant
around.
lizard
Strong
talks
asses.
funny, and
It's a strange thing to say about oneself, but I understand. Okay. Where was
people
the last
tell
place
us
you
all
saw
the
him?
time.
That's unfair
Last
and
time I
unkind.
saw him, I know, but that's the state of being a lizard folk. Anyways,
Where's the last place you saw him? And what's your name?
oh, my
DeGraw?
name. No. What a funny thing to say.
Just
my name is Kerwin. Nice to meet
Kerwin.
you. Yeah,
Good, strong name.
Kerwin. Anyways, yes, last time I saw Gavin, my friend, we were down by the docks, just sitting side by side, dangling our little footsies into the water and looking out at the sunset. Then I fell asleep on the dock, and I woke up and he was gone, but that funny fellow does it all the time. So I thought maybe here's Gavin yet again playing hide and go seek, that funny fellow, and just wasn't here, so can't find him. I mean, there was this puddle of blood over there, but I mean, that happens all the time when you're a lizard folk. And then, I've been looking for him ever since.
There's so much to unpack there. I think my next question is going to be, though, what are you looking? So you just want me to keep an eye out for Gavin? Is there something I can do to
I'm
help?
trying
Is
to
there
find
any-
my.
Is there any, money in this for me? I'm a straightforward woman. Is there any money in this for me? If there's a little money, my help is yours.
Oh,
Ching, ching,
I'm
bling, bling.
sorry. I have no. This is why we're doing the experiment. I mean, even just the 50 gold would be nice. So no gold. Nothing.
Kerwin, I really want to help you. I like you, but the problem is if I help you, then you have more help beating me in this experiment. So I will keep an eye out. I don't want any ill to fall to Gavin, but I think for tonight I'm gonna go to bed. Are you staying on this roof? It's a nice roof. I'm just gonna be right here.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just gonna go down by the dock again. Maybe Gavin will show back up at the dock. So, no.
No? All right. Great. More roof for me. Well then, if I see Gavin, I'll let him know you're looking for him. He'll be pretty easy to spot. I would say keep thinking about that puddle of blood. That's my piece of advice to you. Keep thinking about the puddle of blood. Maybe dig into that a little more, not physically. And I will see you tomorrow at the experiment. Hope you find Gavin.
Thanks. And he walks off, and you just hear him yell out, Gavin? Gavin? Gav! Gav, my boy!
Find Gavin. Never gonna find him. Gavin is dead.
At noon, the next day, a programmed illusion of an unassuming elven man blinking behind a pair of large, glowing goggles and gracefully holding a cup and saucer appears in front of the tavern to give the rules. Hello. Welcome to my experiment. I am Dr. Frankenstein. As you can see behind me in the ground, and he lazily draws his hand in the air. And as his hand is drawn in the air, you see in the dirt behind him a glowing line appears, as if it's a starting line. In the ground, here is basically your starting point. But before you cross it, just a few things to know, so that by crossing the line, you are assenting to this experiment, and therefore saying, yes, I will join. First,
Terms of service.
basically, I have no dotted line for you to sign, so I just have a glowing line for you to cross instead. But first, if you participate, I will pay you 50 gold. If you complete the experiment, which is a maze, I will give you 700 gold. If you are the first one to finish said maze experiment, you will get a tailor-made bespoke creation of your choice, but only for the one who finishes first. The rules are simple. Rule 1. Once you cross the starting line, the experiment begins. Rule 2. Be prepared for combat. Failing a level results in immediate disqualification. Death also disqualifies you. And Rule 3, as I mentioned before, first one to finish wins. I do not split or go halvesies or share. There's only going to be one winner. But feel free to join up together, then wait till the end and then betray. I don't care. I'm just, you're helping me with his experiment. Anyways. Frankenstein out. And it just, all of a sudden the programmed illusion just
Drops the mic.
Programmed illusion stops. And you see, on either side of you, on that dirt path in front of this glowing line, you see other competitors have come. You see Felix there, kind of jumping up and down, looking so excited. You see Millie kind of just checking her nails with one hand and kind of doing a fun in between her fingers tossing around of this brass orb in the other. You see a goblin competitor, 2 humans. You see Kerwin still yelling out for Gavin. No one's with him. Really, that's it. So it looks like it's you guys plus a handful of other competitors for today. Quite a few of them cross the line, and they have a running go at it as soon as the programmed illusion of Dr. Frankenstein goes away. What do you guys do? Do you cross the line, or do you stay?
I would immediately look around and kind of raise my hand. I'm sorry. Did he say death? Did he say death?
Millie chuckles.
I think he did.
Yeah, Millie chuckles. She's like, of course there's death. What'd you think?
Oh.
It's 50 gold.
Plus 700 if we
700.
finish. And I intend to, guys.
Well, maybe if we stick together, 700 would be more than I ever intended, and I don't need to win, just being there, making it to the end. So maybe if we stick together, there's less of a chance of us dying?
Well, yeah, come on, Bertram.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. And I think if that was Awen kind of leading the pack, I think I would kind of gingerly kind of walk behind him, kind of looking around, kind of wondering why no one else seems to be scared about the thought of possibly dying going in here.
Did you happen to see Penelope this morning?
Oh no, I didn't see her. Maybe she's.
I look around.
Maybe she's
still. I look around. Do I see? Are you there?
I'm there, but I'm hidden. You don't see me.
Okay.
So you guys head on in.
Great.
All right. So the two of you cross the line. Did Penelope cross the line?
Once everyone goes inside, I stop. I finally kind of come out from hiding. I really look around. I look at the line. I suss the whole situation. Can I ask, is the only way to start the journey for me to go inside? Obviously, I'm going to cross the line, but is it to go inside, or is there a way to? Are there other ways into the rooms? There's one entrance. All right. So I suss this out. I look around. I try to get a real feel of my surroundings, and then everyone's gone inside. I take a moment, and then I slowly head in, trying to stay out of the pack.
As soon as you cross over that glowing line, a giant wall of fire blows up from that line, barring any chance of escape. There's no way to go but forward. And Millie, about to enter in, looks back behind her and she's like, well, shit, I guess we're in it now. You guys reach the entryway to the experiment, and you can see the competitors in front of you, because yes, now you can call them competitors. There is a competition at stake. There's only one way to enter, and it is through kind of a chute, and you have to jump into it. And you notice that it's slowly rotating to a new, opening for each person coming in. Really, people have to go in single file. So even though people were running toward it, now you're kind of waiting in line. And as you're in line, you notice Penelope come to the back with you guys.
So what do you guys think about this shoot? Is this a head first or a feet first situation for you guys?
I would say before any of the three of you jump in, Millie's going to hold out her paw, and she's saying, wait, let's look at this, guys. Would you guys take an investigation, roll investigation for me, please?
That's 13.
I got 2.
18.
18,
nice.
Okay. So I would say, Penelope, you recognize that there are some runes around the edge that you didn't notice before. And they are you happen to know, even though you can't read it, you know that this language is celestial. Millie would notice this as well, and she's like, this gives me an idea. I've seen this before. All right, guys, I know we were talking about trust last night, but do you guys actually trust me?
Nope. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't share.
You should still tell us.
I trust you. I trust you as much as I trust anyone here.
I think I know how to manipulate this. If you guys want to go in together on this, I think if I can hold it still, there's a mechanism on the top maybe
if I can hold it still, you can go down the same chute. You want to try it with me?
So we could all face a challenge together.
That's what this looks like. It looks like it's meant to separate. But hey, this is a system we can beat, guys.
Wait, I'm still reeling at Bertram's comment about the trust. We spent a whole night together. You're not going to trust everybody else? I didn't kill you. I didn't shut you down. I see how it is, man. I see
it might be because I told you that my eyes were open all night. What if they weren't open all night? I trust you, Awen. I believe you've done nothing but kindnesses to me. So I trust you, and Penelope. I think we're working on it.
My arms are kind of getting tired holding this open. Can you guys jump in now?
Yeah, I go in.
And then I go in.
And then I go head first, kind of tumbling into it.
All right. Since the three of you jumped in together, you don't have to roll anything because you're now in the same room.
Sick.
Millie, however, needs to roll to see if she ends in the same room with you.
No, come on,
Okay, I was
Millie.
gonna say, is
She
Millie
can't hold
joining
it.
us?
She can't hold it for herself.
Come on, Millie.
No, she doesn't. All right, so you wait a few
Sorry,
seconds,
Millie.
and you hear a click and a whir, and you see the entrance close, and you realize nobody else is coming down there. It is just the three of you. The room opens up into a massive chasm built into the same mountain that Frankenstein's castle's built into. And looking down, you see that the chasm tapers off into a slide that perhaps goes into another room, but it is in the dark. And there is one bridge across this chasm, and it's a narrow yet heavy plank of wood balanced on a pivot in the center of the chasm. Essentially a massive seesaw.
Yeah, I want to look around. I have night vision, or what is it called?
Dark vision. Night vision.
Yeah.
Did you want to do a perception
Yeah.
roll? Okay, go ahead and roll
definitely
perception
do.
for me.
What is the
Yeah,
difference between
100.
perception and investigation? Is it the same in this instance?
As a rule of thumb, I technically do. If you're looking at something broadly, it's perception. If you're narrowing in on something, like going up to it to check it out even further, that's investigation.
Got it. Okay.
I got an 8.
Yeah.
Do I have?
You don't notice anything else other than what I've described. Just there's one bridge across, and you want to make it across there.
I think we need to go ahead,
You are a perceptive robot.
but not very dexterous.
Well, I mean, who's the smallest? I feel like this thing's kind of rickety, and maybe someone small and nimble might be good first one. Go across.
I wonder, I look around comically, trying to see who else he could be speaking of.
Well, don't you? I don't mean you, Penelope. I mean, don't you have a little Pip in your pocket?
It's a great question. Pip! And then Pip pops up, and I grab him, and I whisper to him, kind of, think Gandalf with the moth on the top of Saruman's tower. I whisper to Pip, and then I let Pip down. Will Pip be able to, how far is the gap between the end of the seesaw, or is it is the ground that it's going to hit right under it?
Right under it.
Right under, okay.
Is the high side close to us, or is it the low side? Like we could walk up onto it?
It's actually resting precariously even right now.
Oh,
so
intriguing.
it's on the point right now, just at the correct fulcrum area, and so any step on it is gonna knock it down.
Mr. Bertram, are you pretty strong? I mean, you're a robot and everything. You got the strength.
You might think that, looking at me, but these arms were never quite built for lifting and pulling, and they were meant for baking and folding of clothes. And so no, I'm not very strong, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but I do feel like dead weight right now. I'm sorry, I'm not very dexterous or strong, but I'm sure one of these rooms I'll be able to help us. I swear it, but I might need your guidance in this room.
Man, you guys are doing great. This is the easiest level. This is the easiest level, and you guys are just like rocking
Just riffing it so hard.
All right.
I will run into the middle as fast as I can, as dexterously as I can.
Aaron, I want you to roll dexterity for me, and if you have anything for acrobatics, add that on.
All right, that's 15.
Yeah, you cross the bridge just fine.
Is he across or is he in the middle right now?
I don't know. Did you want to stop in the middle, or did you want to go all the way across?
I just went across.
Yeah,
Let's go across?
You are all the way across. You're on the other side of the chasm, just waving.
Awen, but if you were more on the other side, you could counter our weight. Wait.
I think I could probably get across. Pip's just chilling by the door. What if you give me your rope, Mr. Bertram? We tie it around your waist. I run across, and then you can take it however you want. And if you fall, we have your rope. If you trust us.
Okay, yeah. Here.
While
I'll tie.
Bertram is talking and sputtering,
You're tying.
we're tying it, and I'm just holding it and already going as he's arguing about it.
Okay, yes,
All right,
yes.
roll dexterity for me
I'm
with
already-
acrobatics.
Please don't fall, because then you'll take me with you.
Hopefully it's not a 1.
I rolled a 2, but I also have dexterity is 18, and then acrobatics is 4, so that's
That's a
Wait.
6.
24.
Wait. No.
No,
So you got to do the modifier for dexterity.
smaller
So there's a
number.
little number above the high number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so maybe I don't make
your
it.
modification for dexterity is +4. So you rolled a 2.
So why
Yeah,
does my
but-
dexterity 18?
That's like your base
that's
number.
like,
that
yeah, your
determines-
value number. And
So because I scored under. Oh, so I didn't do well. So I must have fallen. But I have the rope, so I just swing over, right? Well, I guess
well,
you tell me that.
interestingly enough, so you run across very sure
10.
of yourself. And even though your eyes are on the prize, something in the rope kind of jerks you back. You don't have it rightly. And so you actually trip off of the seesaw and are now dangling, holding onto Bertram, who's still on the other side. So we have Awen on the side of the next level. We have you dangling on the rope attached to the waist of Bertram, who's standing on the beginning side.
See, this plan was all about me, really.